This is Beach Talk Radio.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all ships at sea. This is your captain speaking, Mean Gene. Mean Gene. The following will be a test of the ship's whistle, the sonar alarm, the cable alarm, and the atomic attack alarm.
Ladies and gentlemen, with the Gulf of Mexico as their backdrop, broadcasting live from the Margaritaville Resort on Fort Myers Beach, here are the hosts of the dinkiest podcast in America, Kim and Ed Ryan.
Thank you all. You know, we just can't get a break with this weather. Welcome to Margaritaville. We're inside the License to Chill restaurant here on Fort Myers Beach on the second anniversary of Hurricane Ian and 2 days after Hurricane Helene, which was going to be just a dud.
Right.
It turned out to be a lot more than a dud. And there's still,
it's still pretty. The water out there is all churned up.
It's
been a mess this morning.
And driving down here, there was a torrential downpour, and I was like, wait a second, it's 7:00 in the morning. It's not supposed to rain until 5:00 in the afternoon, and it was raining at 7:00 in the morning. And they're supposed to get a shower at like 11, and then it's going to clear off. And the Island Hoppers Songwriters Festival, or whatever it's called,
that's it,
is going on tonight. They have bands playing everywhere on the island, so it's going on tonight. And tomorrow is the grand finale at the Pink Shell. So,
do you have the information on where people can find out who's going where? Because there might be some people.
I know Scotty McCreery is playing at the Pink Shell. That's all I know, because I don't really pay it. That's Scotty McCreery right there. Oh, are you playing? Well, come on over. Yeah, come on over.
Yeah.
We've got one of the songwriters here. We're waiting for Rick and Amy to come on down. They're stuck in traffic, and we're going to talk to them about rebuilding their house. And I thought you worked here at Margaritaville, because come over here. Come over here. She had her badge on there, so I thought maybe you were an employee here. So tell us who you are.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Lucy Spots, and I'm from New Smyrna Beach, Florida. Singer-songwriter.
Cool.
Surfer. And, yeah.
Are you going out today surfing? It's a little rough.
Probably not. I was out yesterday in New Smyrna.
Oh, yeah?
But yeah, it looks a little
rough
rough
here.
here.
Get hit over there. They were okay?
We got a lot of wind, a lot of rain, but it wasn't too bad, no.
So where are you playing?
I've got it right here.
Okay.
Let's see here. September 28th.
That's today.
Oh, which is today. There you go.
Yeah.
Poolside at Pink Shell Beach Resort.
Okay.
Nice. What time?
That is 3 to
All right.
3:45.
Okay.
Right.
And then tonight at 6 at Yucatan Beach Stand.
Yucatan, right?
Yeah.
And
Very nice.
tomorrow at Matanzas on the
Matanzas,
Bay.
right? Okay.
And that is one.
So
You're pronouncing those pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm not being
Yeah,
around
yeah.
here. Yeah.
I was scared. I thought it was
So
gonna-
have you tell us about some of the songs you've written? Like, would we recognize any? That's not a fair question, I know, but would some of the artists that people are familiar with on the radio recognize any of the songs you've written?
Probably not.
Okay.
Just yet. I have written probably hundreds of songs.
Wow.
Only a few of them are,
And
good
when-
enough to
At the
put
ripe
out,
old
but-
age of.
When will you be 21?
Yeah.
I'm 21 already.
You're 21
Yeah.
now. Okay.
And then my birthday is December 15th.
So you'll be 22.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
22.
When did you
Pretty
start
crazy.
writing? Like at 5?
No kidding. Hundreds of songs. She's only 22.
I know. I don't know. I was homeschooled, so I had a lot of time on my hands.
Sweet.
I
So-
spent a lot of time in my room and just.
What
crank
is
them out.
your?
Let her
I'm sorry.
finish.
No, you're
What
good.
is your most?
He's not good. Don't-
What is your favorite song that you've ever written? Your favorite song?
Somebody asked me that recently, and that's a hard one because they're almost like children. Like you love them all, and
You're 22. Do you know anything about children? I mean, come on. Does she know anything about
well,
children?
I guess you don't have favorites when you have kids.
Okay, let me ask
Hopefully,
it.
unless you have one, and then that's your favorite.
Let me ask it a
Yeah.
different way. What song will you lead off with today at the Pink Shell?
Probably a song called "Do You Feel What I Feel."
Okay, sing it right now.
What?
Yeah,
Oh,
go right
I
ahead.
can't.
Sing it right now. A little
Without my
acapella.
guitar?
No, without the guitar. You could do
Oh
it.
man.
Come on.
Sing a line or two. Sing a little.
Oh
Go
man,
ahead.
songwriters know without the guitar it's hard. It goes. Oh, does everything make you think of me? Am I on your mind when you fall asleep? Do you wish you could know me a little bit better? Do you feel what I feel when you say goodbye to me? And do you feel what I feel? Are you a little into me? And do you feel like you could feel about me like I feel about you? Like I feel about you.
Very nice. Can we get a big hand? That was
Wow, thank you.
awesome. Very
That
nice.
was
And you
so
play
good.
and you play the guitar yourself when you sing
Yeah.
that song on stage. Very
Yeah,
nice. Now,
play
was
guitar.
that clearly that was about a dude, right?
Yeah.
That
yeah,
didn't
it's
work
a love
out.
Song.
Was it somebody
Yeah.
actually in your life that?
I wrote that song a couple years ago, and it's just about that kind of middle phase where you're kind of liking somebody and you think they might like you
I
back,
see.
but you're not sure, and so.
Yeah, we're still not sure.
I
Yeah,
It's been
30
no,
years,
I'm
still
sure.
not sure.
I'm sure, but it's too costly to get divorced these
Yeah.
days. So
Right.
I'm hanging in
So, do you
there.
want to get married at some point in your life?
I think that might be in my cards.
Yeah.
You never
Kids
know.
want to have kids too.
Yeah.
How many kids do you think you'd like to have?
I don't know. I'm pretty open to whatever God wants.
I
There
see.
you
I don't
go.
Very
know.
nice.
Yeah.
And you're playing today at 3:00 at the Pink Shell, and then
Yeah.
tomorrow at Yucatan and
And then-
Matanzas.
Yeah, yeah,
Matanzas,
yeah.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
nice.
You
cool.
know better
Well,
than I do.
thank you very much for joining us, and we will
Yeah.
see you at the Pink
Yes,
Shell.
Thank you.
Very
so
nice.
much.
you.
I already forgot your name. I apologize.
Oh, Lucy Spot.
Lucy Spot. Thank you. Is this somebody you're related to? She wrote. Oh, you wrote Helene Parody. Okay, well, get right back on the microphone because we need a little parody right now. Yes.
Yes.
So you wrote Hurricane Helene Parody.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can come back. And Rick and Amy are here, so we're going to get them on in a second. But I also wanted to let everybody know that if you were wondering, the 12:30 luncheon at the Pink Shell for the Hurricane Ian residents and survivors is on. If you made it, it's not sold out because it's free. We got donations for that, but if you reserved your seat for that, it is on. So come on down, and you got to read it off the phone.
Well,
Very
she just
nice.
wrote
Oh, she
it.
wrote it.
Just
You
wrote it.
you can't remember. You're 22. You can't memorize
Right.
She
everything.
just wrote it.
All right, go right ahead.
Yeah,
Let it
you know
rip.
Jolene, right? So this is like a parody on that.
Okay.
Your power is beyond compare, destructive, and it just ain't fair. I'm saying it, Helene, you're just plain mean. You're cruel and you're damaging, tropical gone hurricane, and I cannot compete with you, Helene. Helene, 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 Helene. Oh, I'm begging of you, please don't steal my shows. Helene, 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 Helene. Go back out to sea, stay put, and please don't grow.
Much for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. We'll see you at the
Aw.
Pink Shell today. Good
Sounds
luck.
good.
All
Thank
right.
you, guys.
Thank
you
you
very
so
much.
much.
Awesome. All
She
right.
just
I know. That's crazy how you can write songs like that.
well and sing like that.
I've
I
written a few
mean,
songs. You want me to sing them
No,
right now?
nobody wants to hear
Well, I
that.
can't. I don't feel comfortable singing the song without my trumpet. By the way.
You're an idiot.
By the way, for all those folks that are new to the show, we added 7,000 new followers in the last 3 days, and I'm not saying that to brag. Well, maybe I am a little bit, but this is not the typical area we do our show. We are usually out on the grass here at License to Chill at Margaritaville, but the weather has not cooperated for some
Nope.
reason for the last 4 days. So we're inside to make sure the equipment doesn't get wet. And now we'd like to introduce to you. Everybody
And-
knows who these fine folks are. Rick.
And just on cue.
It starts to rain. Rick and Amy Lowry, who live here on Fort Myers Beach and lost their house in the hurricane 2 years ago today. And now they're rebuilding, and they had to deal with just more crap the last few days. So grab those microphones, Rick and Amy. I know you guys aren't shy. So first of all, how
you
are
really have to fix these cords. I
That's all right.
apologize.
It's a
You
dinky
guys-
podcast.
Oh God.
you? How are you guys doing?
Good.
We're doing all right.
We're sad, but we're
Yeah.
good.
So let's start with the last few days. You're rebuilding your house, and then this this dinky little storm that they said was coming through was a little bit worse than people thought. But your house is up. Now your new house is
And
up.
you're in your house. You're not still in the.
We're close. We're real close.
Okay.
So you're still in the trailer.
So you're still in the.
Oh man,
geez.
2 years in a trailer. Gosh. So what happened to your house in this most current storm? Did you get any water?
No, actually, it came right to the front door. So
Sweet.
Well,
Awesome.
garage door.
Garage
Front
door.
door is 18 feet
I was
high.
gonna say, yeah.
For those folks that are new to the show, again, Rick made a stand
Or a
six-
sit.
or a sit 6 or 8 months ago. How
A
long
year.
ago was it?
A
A year
in
ago,
August.
where he sat on his roof in August, which is it's slightly hot in August. And why did you do that, Rick? Explain to our folks why you did that.
well, we were, as everybody else was going through the process of trying to, make it back to where they were. We got stuck in the process saying that my garage had to be demolished, and according to the 50-50 rule. So in order to solve that problem, I had to do what I had to do and figure it out. So that's what I did. So
And you won you won because eventually whoever was in power at the time, whether it was somebody at the town or FEMA, decided that you could keep your garage and it's attached to your new house.
yeah, like I say, it was not just our garage, but there was a lot of other structures on the beach that were still in good shape that obviously didn't need to be demolished. So it was about our garage for us, but it was also about other people in the community being able to save their structures that were still in decent shape. So
Yeah.
How many days were you up there?
6 days,
6
Oh.
days. And
A
you
lot
didn't,
of sunscreen.
a lot of sunscreen.
so Amy, how's the new house coming along?
It's coming along good.
Yeah.
So,
What do you like the most about the new house?
the 42 stairs.
42 stairs.
That's quite a workout. And you had a gym kind of in your garage before, right? And you
Yep.
still have that back?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
What do you have in there? Are you going to have memberships? Can we come and work out?
We're doing free Monday night workouts whenever we can actually slow down enough. So,
Sweet. And how do you think things are coming along with the rebuild of the island?
Well, unfortunately, most of the homes that we rebuilt were down in Fairview Isles, and we're down there again doing the same thing today. So we'll leave here and we'll head right back down there to work on 5 different homes that were flooded. So
Oh, wow.
How much water do they know how much they got in down there?
it depends on the house and where it was sitting. And all the ones at the top of the street ended up with a good 2 feet. At the top of Fairview, they ended up with all the muck. So the
Oh.
floors are all muddy and nasty and all their stuff. Further down on Fairview, it depends. Some of them only got a couple inches. Others, one of the house we're working on, 2.5 feet, so.
And so when the house gets 2.5 feet, can you just clean it out and the floors are okay, or everything and the drywall and you're starting all over again?
no, unfortunately, everything that we did has to come back out
Oh.
and be replaced again. So
Crazy.
Yes.
It just seems like they could make materials for the inside of your house that would withstand this kind of coastal flooding.
Well,
But there's an idea.
You can. The problem is the insulation on the other side. Your 2x4s, so you could
Okay.
put cement board up, but it's what's between, that still gets all wet, and that's where the mold builds up.
Can you guys
Oh.
believe it's been 2 years since that all happened? When you came back to your house that first time, what did you see, and what kind of emotions were you going through when you first came back to your house?
we never left. So we
Okay.
were there. So and, yeah, our emotions ranged. It was survival. We were just trying to live at that point. So the house really didn't matter. We just had a family together and made sure that we stayed together. So, the rest was kind of coincidental at that point. So
Did others come to your house, or was it just you guys?
No,
and
it
your
was just
family?
us. No, the house was destroyed. There was no coming to anything.
Right.
So we took refuge in our neighbor's house, which we were thankful, but their home was destroyed as well.
And you guys,
So-
just so for reference, so for people that don't know, you live on Estero Boulevard. Across the street, and Estero is the main roadway. Again, I know this is not,
Review
people know
for-
this
yeah.
for that have been with the show, but the new people, it's the main road that goes from one end of the island to the other. It's not too far. It's a house away from the Gulf of Mexico and the beach, and you guys are on the bay side of that street. So what kind of house did you have before the storm? What was it? Was
We
it
had
like
a ranch.
ranch.
Yeah.
And the houses that were along that road there, across the street, was there a condo building or another house?
We have
We
two
got
condos.
So are they still there, or are they
They are.
they open yet?
Oh no, they're a couple years from opening. They're
Really?
in bad, yeah, they're in bad shape.
So even with those condos in front of your house, wasn't enough.
No,
No.
20-foot waves hitting our house. So
Crazy. And I say this, and I apologize to people that have heard me say it 1,000 times. It's amazing when you look out from your house how far away the beach is, like the water, not the
Yes.
beach, but the water.
Yep.
To know that it can come up that fierce, like the other day, watching it from Margaritaville and seeing how far out it is, and then all of a sudden it's on the other side of the building,
Yep.
like in a violent way.
Mhm.
It was 2 days ago as a reminder of who's in charge.
yes,
Yes, it
Mother
was.
Nature.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
But this time, the new house,
yeah,
and it starts at 18 feet up.
Yep.
So
Yes.
it was fine, and it'll withstand whatever.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have even known anything was going on outside if you hadn't looked out the
Wow.
windows. So
when you guys when the storm came the other day, did you stay on the island?
Yes.
Where
we were in the house. We stayed in the house.
I
We
see.
were, yeah,
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we were inside. We
There-
wanted to see how it was going to weather the storm. You
Did
know,
you-
you don't know
Yeah,
if you're
you
going to have new leaks or
Right.
it's a new house.
Right.
I think people might. I thought after Ian, people would leave, like not knowing the prediction of a hurricane. You can never know what's going to happen. Like they kept saying, as I was talking to Dave about it, this thing was 150 miles off our coast. Yet it feels like it almost feels like it hit us.
It
I know it
does.
didn't hit us like it hit them up in the Big Bend area, but there's still. Did you see the sand
Oh yeah.
on Estero Boulevard?
It's
They're
crazy.
working hard getting rid of the sand. They are right. I mean, they have a routine now where they
Right.
know the drill.
They're doing a
Um,
great job out there.
Yeah,
Being in these storms, even this one is still scary because when the boulevard gets merged with the ocean and
Yeah.
it becomes one and you're sitting there looking at it, you don't know what's next at this point because that's how it happened the first time. So it was scary, just even watching it, knowing it wasn't going to come that high.
yeah.
It was still scary. So
How high is the highest point of your house? Like, well,
our
8 feet.
first floor is 18 foot above sea level.
okay.
so
But
Yeah.
the garage we're 8 feet. That as far as elevation. Where
elevation. We're 8 foot of our ground is 8 foot.
Yep.
And then we're another 14 foot up.
So yeah, you're kind of on a slope. Your
Yeah.
house, so
Yeah.
it would take a while for the water to get even in the garage now, right? Right.
It made
It
it right to
depends.
the front garage door the
No
other day.
kidding.
So
No.
no,
Crazy. And there used to be a house next to yours.
On
What's
both
going
sides.
on with those guys? Are they rebuilding? Or are they selling property?
The house, the lot to the north, they sold it. People from Naples bought it. They're going to build, they say, but not maybe next year, I guess.
Yeah,
They're waiting for their
Right.
kids to graduate from school. The lot on the other side, the owner decided to sell it a few weeks ago, so he just listed.
What do you get for it?
The lot on the other side, 1.3.
1.3 and
No
they're asking
house or anything.
1.4.
Just
pool.
a lot.
There's
No.
a pool.
Oh, you get
There's
a
a
pool.
pool.
You
Yeah,
get a
it has
lot
a-
with a pool.
Yes, for 1.3. Yeah.
So I'm curious, like you.
Hey, our anniversary's coming up. Maybe. you should-
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'll just write a check for that. So you went through Hurricane Ian on the island, but you decided to stay for this one. Why?
This one really didn't scare me. Like I say, we weren't expecting the storm surge that we even got this time. Like just like
Right.
last time, it seems like they're underestimating things instead of
For sure.
overestimating them
Yeah.
these
For
days.
sure.
I don't really know what's going on with that, but we didn't really have true estimates. And even if we did, we got too much invested in our island with not just our home but the people here. That we know they're going to need our help the next day,
Yeah.
and to be off island and stuck off island would be unacceptable for me. So.
Well, and I think to your point, you do have a new house. It is built to code. I would imagine you
Supposed to
feel
withstand that.
safer in there. And like you said, you want to see, hey, if there's a problem, I mean,
didn't just build a house. I built a tank.
yeah,
So that
yeah,
if this happens again, I'll make sure that we're safe.
yeah.
What?
I texted our contractor during the storm the other night and I told him, I said, thank you for building us a fortress and I love you. And he
Yeah.
texts me back and says, you're more than welcome and I love you too. So-
Are you?
Do you mind saying who your builder was?
oh, he's phenomenal. Jay Ursulio.
Is it what company is that, or is he?
Jay Ursulio
Ursulio,
gotcha.
Construction.
Very
Yep.
cool.
No, it's his own company. He was born and raised here. He was born in a house on Miramar,
Mandalay.
Mandalay, sorry, 65 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what do you guys want to tell other people on the island that are going through what you went through from Hurricane Ian plus rebuilding? What kind of advice?
Even today, we've got a lot of people who out there are second guessing, whether they want to live here or not. And we're not going anywhere, just so you know. So we're not going to second guess it. This is our home. It's our community. It's our place where we belong. We're not going anywhere. So we'll be here for you. So.
The news asked us quite a few times in the interviews the last couple of days why we stayed, why we're still here. My family has asked the same thing. Why not move back up north? It snows. Oh, well, we don't have hurricanes. And I said, it's our community. There is no community that we have lived in. We're going to be, 59, I guess, this year, that we've ever lived in that is as tight-knit community as ours is.
Right.
And yeah, we don't all get along all of the time, but that's for sure. And we don't agree with, 50% of the stuff that goes on, but our community is just amazing and they all rally together and
Yes.
everybody is there for each other. Yesterday we were working on 3 houses down in Fairview Isles and one of the neighbors pulled in the driveway and come and got me and says, I need you to come up to 2 other ladies' houses at the top of the street. And I was like, jumped in, told him, I said, I got to go.
Right.
And he's looking at me going, are you serious? We can't handle more. I'm like, yeah, we can.
Yeah.
We don't need to sleep. We can do whatever we got to do to help people. Yeah.
And
Well, I think that is when you're talking about the community, you're also talking about yourselves because you guys do a lot for a lot of people. You're so involved and you're always out there helping people. And so you're contributing to that feeling that you were talking about. And just, thank you to you guys because really we always see you out
Yes.
there and we hear people all the time.
See, and I
Talk
feel
about
bad
that.
because we've been so concentrated the last 2 years
our own.
on working on our own problem and
Yep.
trying to get ourselves settled that I feel like we haven't been able to give back
Well,
to the community
I
like,
don't think
well,
that
like we
that's-
wanted to.
I know, but I don't think that's how
Nobody
the
else
community
looks at it that
feels.
way.
well, I wish that we could have been out doing more. So
In fact, I think you should be the director of volunteer services because
Yes.
when we were down yesterday, we were like, "Who needs help? Who needs help? Who needs help?" And we didn't hear. And now hearing that, I wish that we had known because we would have come on down.
and I
So-
didn't have time to get on Facebook.
Well,
Sorry.
that's the thing. No, I know. But
Me either.
It was 11 o'clock at night last night when I
know,
looked.
but that's
I'm
why
like,
we're
oh.
going to make you director of volunteer services.
All right. Well, anything else that you want to share with the audience
Just wanna
before we
say
let
thank
you roll?
to you guys for all you've been doing.
Oh my
raising
gosh.
money and helping people. We appreciate it.
Thank
You guys are
Different
amazing.
stuff.
You
Thank you,
truly
guys.
are.
Thank you.
I mean, the first thing when anything happens on the island, first thing we both do is grab our phone, search Beach Talk Radio,
Thank you.
Facebook to look for your newest feed. You
Now
know?
the pressure is on now to
Yeah.
make sure we can still do that. So, and you guys have been great, and we appreciate you coming on. And I know you had planned to come to the lunch today, but you have too much going on. So we'll make sure everybody knows
we
that
want to get out and help those
Yeah.
people that are still underwater
Awesome.
right now. So
Rick and Amy Lowry, everybody from Rick on the Roof and Estero Boulevard, and Amy, the director of volunteer services, officially now. So, all right, before we get to Tom from La Ola, more stories to tell you about. I need to tell you about a structural engineer that you want to. Oh, look, they're raising the curtains. No, they're lowering the curtains. They're raising the curtains. Michael Stewart, everybody. If you want a home built like a fortress, like Rick and Amy, you want to call Michael Stewart to structurally engineer your fortress. And he can do it for residential or commercial. And he's also a mechanical. He also designs mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. That sounds a lot of degrees right there to me. Michael Stewart's residential services range from new custom homes directly on the Gulf Bay or the side streets. And you can call Michael Stewart. He's a big supporter of Fort Myers Beach. He's always out there doing stuff for the island. Call him right now if you want somebody you can trust, because the last thing you want is to pick somebody who you can't trust to help build your house. And there's a lot of that shit going on around town too. So start with Michael Stewart at 239-292-7670. 239-292-7670. Before we have Tom come on, because I don't want to put him on the spot when I say this, the town of Fort Myers Beach, I don't disagree with the town on very much because, you know, I love this mayor and this town council and the town manager. But the town put out an asinine post just a little while ago discouraging people from coming on the island. They want people to stay away from the island today and tomorrow for whatever reason they're coming up with. And it makes no sense to me that they would put out a post like that without being specific about it, because you have the Island Hopper Songwriter Fest going on today and tomorrow, and you have our lunch, you have other things, you have these businesses that worked hard to try and reopen yesterday. I know Tom's trying to reopen in this crappy weather, and Yo Taco just put their stand back in Times Square, and Wahoo Willie's and Snug Harbor are trying to open, and the town is telling people not to come on the island. So I want you to come on the island, and I don't care what kind of crap I take from Dan tomorrow when he comes on the show. But for crying out loud, if you're going to come down and take pictures or something like that just because you're a gawker, that's one thing. Or make that the specific reason why you tell people not to come. Just tell people not to come on the island when these businesses on the island need your money right now is ridiculous to me. But enough about that. Tom from La Ola, everybody. Come on down, Tom. Yeah. Tom gets a big hand. Tom owns 2 La Olas, one in Times Square and one in, I always forget the name of that plaza, and it's closer to our house. Bell Tower. Well, how about you guys use a microphone when you do the show? All right.
Tower.
Bell Tower. Tom, how are you, man?
Well, a little sore today. My wife was kind enough to get me a lidocaine patch for my back. So
yeah, and you're sore from more rain, everybody, but the rain is supposed to pass, so come to the island.
You keep saying that. The rain is going to pass.
Yeah.
The rain is going to pass. Yeah, so I bet you are sore because there was a lot of sand to move yesterday, and wet sand is seriously heavy.
yeah, well, this all started on Tuesday for us when we unloaded everything from the shipping containers first. So
Yeah.
we've been going pretty straight since Tuesday morning.
So, Tom, let's rewind a little bit and tell us how are you feeling about this being 2 years from Hurricane Ian?
It's a lot to take in, especially with just going through another one right now. I feel like this is my home, and I'm going to continue to fight to stay here. And we seem to make it through the storms. We made it through another one.
Now, when you first came down to the island, you're one of the first businesses in Times Square, right down there. You come down over the bridge. I remember seeing you come down over the bridge, and then you get to your place, and it's not there. It's completely gone. I know you don't own the property, but that was your business. You put your heart into that, and I don't know how much money into it. What was your reaction when you first looked and saw?
Well, I had gotten a little bit of heads up. A friend of mine, Brad, had been staying at the lighthouse, and he had a vantage point where he could look over and saw that the whole building was gone. So I knew ahead of time, but it was surreal walking over the bridge and you start seeing parts of the restaurant going up the bridge on the road. Mm-hmm. All the sandals from the sandal factory strewed everywhere. It was, I don't know, it felt like I was in The Walking Dead or something.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of described it back then as like being in a Mad Max movie,
Right.
because you see that the sand, even though it was bad the last few days, but that had debris in it. I mean, the sand, you couldn't see the road. There was no road. And there was everybody's building and homes everywhere along the way. And so you get there and you start cleaning up, right? You just start cleaning up, like, because that's all you can do.
Yeah.
And then, go ahead.
Well, I think for me, it was my way of coping, to stay busy, just keep moving.
Yeah.
You are busy. You are, yes, that is a good description. Now, how long after Ian hit did you start getting something going down there? Because it seemed like it was pretty quick.
Yeah, so I think it was October 4th or 5th. We'd made our way over, about a week after the storm, we'd made our way over to Miami, or just outside of Miami, and purchased a food trailer. So that had been in the works for a few days before I decided on where to buy. So we got that back over here, and it took us, even going through the fast track process, it took us almost a month to get licensed and, legal to sell. So I think it was November 2nd by the time we started serving food on the island.
Mm-hmm.
So right after the storm, there were no questions asked that you were going to do something and reopen, because that it's like 4 days. You made a decision, found something, boom.
Yeah. Yeah, fast.
Now, and when did you decide to open one up in Bell Tower? Why did you decide that? Why just kind of as a backup, or?
Yeah, I mean, my thinking at the time was that whatever I do on the beach could very well be temporary in nature, so that I was going to need an off-island location as an anchor and be established off-island. So I started looking. I originally wasn't looking as far away as Bell Tower. I was looking more in the Iona area, but that's where I ended up falling on, Bell Tower.
Yeah. So
and that place, you
Super
brought
nice.
a lot of beach
yeah.
paintings and decor to that place.
Yeah. You know, I called an old friend, Anita. You may know her.
Yes, we do. Very
And
well.
she was gracious enough to come over and help me. Yeah.
It's
I got to give her
phenomenal.
credit for the decorations over there.
So there's a lot of unknowns going on in Times Square now. So the first question I have for you is, what do you know about the execution of the entire project? I know that there was some drawings released, I don't know, several months ago, but then you never heard anything after that. What do you know about that?
Not a lot. You know, I think it's kind of every man for himself on the island or in the square. You know, there's a lot of different property owners there. So unless someone comes along and owns the whole thing, I don't see a cohesive development.
So you don't
happening
think
there.
that drawing that they presented to the community has any realistic chance of resulting in what we saw? If you're being honest.
I don't have high hopes for it, but just based on what I've seen so far,
Yeah.
It's a little discouraging seeing how slow the progress is, though. You know, to hear that the pier can't even be rebuilt until maybe 2030, we're talking about now.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you're being told something like that, if you own a piece of property in the square, would you want to be the first one to put out your money?
Right.
Right. I mean, if folks, if our broadcast goes kablink to anyone out there, it's because it is raining so hard right by the electrical outlet. Tom or Bob, are we in danger of being electrocuted to death over here with this? I mean, I don't want to die on September 28th. I mean, I know I'm going to die, but I'd rather not die on this day.
Well, you keep it up, and it's any day now for
So there's also. Go ahead. You were going to say something?
No, I just said that it's a little risky to be the first one
Yeah.
to build back, seeing how everything else around you is an
Right.
unknown and may take a long time to get
Right.
redone.
And I would imagine the first back is going to be the most the costliest, because you're going to have all the toilet. I mean, you're going to have all that infrastructure
Yeah,
that's going to maybe support other businesses, but you're going to need it first.
yeah. It's from what I understand, there's still a lot of projects that need to be done in the middle of the square as well, on the county end as well. I don't know if anyone can hear us or just hearing the rain here. That's all I hear.
I just hope we're still here, because this is like a lot of rain, folks. A lot of rain.
Yeah, I hope my staff found shelter I got a crew. I love my staff. They're over
Yeah.
there working
Yeah.
hard right now.
Yeah.
So how long is it going to be before you can bring the food truck back down?
The food truck is here, dear.
Oh, it's already back down?
Everything is back in place.
Wow.
I got a
The
special
little
thanks
one
to.
that was there.
It's there.
I
I
didn't see
gotta
it.
take a second and thank Jason and JJ from
Oh, yeah.
Margaritas.
Yes. Yeah. For folks that don't know, that are new to the show, Jason and Jacinta from Margaritas, they used to own the restaurant on the other side of Anita's shop, right in Times Square. They now own a restaurant down on 41 in the Island Park Plaza. And they
Yep.
still love the beach. They want to be back on the beach. They just know the timing is not right. I mean, there's not enough people back yet. There's not enough, locations that can make the investment worth something. And I know you don't own the property there, but you would love to be back there if it ever comes up. Have you looked at other properties on the beach to maybe get into?
Yeah, I'm looking around. I just haven't found something that is my
Floats your
fit.
boat?
You know, I'd love to find a place where I can emphasize the live music, be able to make some noise in the
Yes.
appropriate spot, and I love being outside too.
Yeah.
Have the outside element of it.
How
But
much-
back to Jason and JJ. I was over with Jason this morning, loading up my U-Haul with. he was kind enough to take all my cold beer and keep it cold for me through the storm.
Nice.
So he was helping me at 6:30 this morning, hump that back onto the truck and get it back over.
Cool.
So
Now, did you look at Santini Plaza and just thought that's not your vibe,
I took a drive over there.
and you
know?
turned right around quick?
Well, you want something that's open. How
To
important
be,
is it?
to be
Move
honest,
over.
I don't want to.
We got to get he's late, but we got to get him
Oh.
on together because
How
he's playing at
important
La
is
Ola.
the water
No,
for you?
Tom, move over.
Oh.
Yeah. What the hell, man? You can't
Wait
show
a
up on
minute.
time. What's your deal?
I gave myself an hour to get from the south end of the island. I underestimated just exactly how much mud there is out there.
Yeah.
Hi, Steve.
Ironically, hey, Tom. Ironically, I was sitting in traffic, stalled for about a half hour right in front of Rick and Amy's house while I watched you guys. I'm looking, going, it's his house right
Why
there.
were you stalled?
They're just
Traffic?
they're out there. There was I think there was some emergency because the fire department was
I
there.
see.
Yeah,
police were
I
there,
heard.
right there, right at Rick's house.
Yeah. By the way, everybody, this is Stephen Clark. If you don't know who he is, everybody knows who he is. So thank you for finally coming.
Yeah,
He likes to make a dramatic entrance to the
Well,
show.
yeah.
He's never been on time in all the times he's been on the
No,
show.
wait a second. I was in television for 40 years. I only missed one time in 40 years the top of a newscast.
Why did you miss it, by
Well,
the way?
because we were in Miami doing a show and the valet lost our car.
I see.
Wow.
That was the only time I was ever late for the beginning of a show.
I've never had a valet.
Well,
for
we
any-
had to because we were
Well, at a
editing out of a hotel.
hotel.
I see.
Yeah, so we were at a hotel editing out of a hotel, and then. that was
Oh,
it.
she left. I was going to say, did you hear?
I did.
She was fabulous.
I was
yeah.
watching, and I liked your song about the hurricane.
And you have a song about a hurricane.
Well, I got a song about a real hurricane.
Yeah, go ahead.
Real song.
Go ahead and sing a little bit of it.
In let's see, late September, storm rolled in.
Wow, you're getting
20
old,
feet
man.
of- 20 feet of water and a freight train wind. So that was Ian. I wrote the song Ian after the last hurricane.
And you're playing at La Ola today, so I wanted to make sure that you guys had a chance to talk about
That's
that.
why I'm here. I wanted to ask Tom, am I playing at Lola today?
Well, I'm breaking news. Ed just announced that evidently at least parts of the town are trying to discourage people from coming on
I
the
know,
island.
I heard
man.
that, and I saw it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm saying let's come on. Let's just let's be pirates out there. Let's just say,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
Let's
Get on
let's
down here.
Not only
So-
avoid the island, bring friends.
Yes. Giant caravans worth of people. Just
bring
pick,
them on down.
if you see people standing on the side of the road, pick their asses up
Just
and
bring
put them
them
in the
up,
back of
bring
your
them
car
down.
and bring them to the beach.
Dear, I'm sure they have a reason for that.
They don't want looky-loos. That's what they should have said.
Yeah.
then.
I understand
That's what
that
they
because-
should have said then.
Because after the hurricane, that was the worst part. Is
Yeah.
these people that just come down the road, leaning out the door, taking pictures. And I'm
Yes.
saying, yeah, I get it, but we live here and we still have to get around.
Get to your house.
The worst I ever had was on Estero is 2 hours from my house to this spot right here, and I'm 5 miles.
Yeah.
And so today I thought I gave myself an hour, and I thought that'd be plenty. An hour was I got here right at 10:30, which is what I was supposed to.
You should have just ridden a bike. You
Well,
have an electric bike,
I do. and I
right?
almost did. Now the funny thing is, I've got my Jeep and I've got no top on it, and so I
So
was
the
sitting in the
point-
rain.
Yeah, then you might as well have done that. You could hook up a cart
little
with all
cart.
your materials
I
and
know.
put a tarp over it. You'll get around a lot faster.
I should have brought my gear up because now I got to
Yes.
go back and do it
Oh
again.
my God! And what
I
time
already
are
my
you
gear.
singing?
I'm singing today at 3:00 again, and if everything's going fine,
No, I
then
think
I'm
the
back
race
You
goes
better
fast.
leave now.
then I'm back again tomorrow at 6:00 at Lola, so
Right.
6 to 9.
All right.
And I'm also doing a little of the Island Hopper. I'm a late addition. I'm filling in for somebody who didn't make the trip here because of the storm. So I'm playing at Wahoo Willie's, I think at 3:00 or 3:15 tomorrow.
Wahoo Willie's is 1 to 4 tomorrow. I got that from Peter.
Yep.
They're
So-
playing at Snug tonight, but nobody's going to be there because the town doesn't want anybody to come.
Exactly.
Snug Harbor from 2 to 9, and the Wahoo Willie's from 1 to 4 tomorrow. And our Packer Vikings game is on tomorrow at Nervous Nelly's at 1 o'clock. And I just got notice too that Senator Rick Scott and Sheriff Carmine Marcino are holding a press conference in Times Square tomorrow at 1:30. So I don't know what is the town going to let people
I
come
didn't
over
know
for
if-
that?
I didn't know if they're going to let even the sheriff come down for that.
That is Swamp Boogie. So, Stephen, I don't mean to cut you out at all, Tom, but if he was on time,
No
if he
problem.
was
I
on
was fine
time,
with that.
if he
Had I
was
been
on
on
time,
time.
there would have been more of a
Yeah.
flow to this interview. But you also have a house on the island. So
Yes.
what you weren't like rehabbing your house during Ian. You got into the permit
Yeah.
web by accident.
Well, my wife decided we had to repair things anyway. And so while we had a contractor, she reasoned it'd be a really good time to do a major remodel. And the problem is originally when our contractor submitted the permits, he failed to delineate that this was not a flood repair and that our house is actually FEMA flood compliant.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it turned out way back when the house was built in 2000, they forgot to check one box.
Oh.
So our house was not listed as flood compliant. So we went through about 7 months of permit hell.
Yeah.
Trying to convince, I told the mayor, I says, Mr. Mayor, go down to my house with your own eyes, look, and you'll see. Well, we can't do it that way. We have to have engineers do these studies. I said, it's all there. Somebody just has to look at it.
Yeah.
Right.
So it cost me a couple $1,000s in a consultant to convince the town that we indeed had a compliant structure. So that set us off slowly. But now here we are 15 or 16 months into our 5-month project, and we're coming close. We're almost done.
Where
And how did you fare during this storm?
It was touch and go. I mean, we ended up being fine, but I planned for 3 to 5 feet, and I calculated mainly my boat. I didn't want to lose another pontoon. I lost my last one, got crushed
Yeah.
because the water raised it up under the roof of the house and just crushed it. So I calculated that I had just over 5 feet. So I brought the thing up as high as I could, and then it was nervous because all night long I'm watching it. Finally, it started lifting right when everything turned around at about 10:30, 10:45. It
Yeah.
finally turned around. The water was in my yard about 20 feet up into the yard, which means it had about another 5 feet to go before it was starting to come under the doors. So everything was close. I mean, I was almost on an island again like I was during Ian, but that time the water was 18 feet.
Now, you worked at a TV station in Detroit,
Yes.
right? And so why is it that the weather forecasters are so wrong so often?
All right.
Like, this was supposed to be like a baby storm.
Yes.
It was far from Debbie.
Well, what's weird about it is how they underestimated it, because
Yeah.
generally,
Yes.
by design, I'm going to give away a secret of local news. By design, they overestimate because they want to scare you. And we've actually had consultants tell us that we need people to watch us during these weather events. So give them the worst case scenario. So they will be sure to tune in during the storm. So basically your job on television these days is to scare people into watching the news. So what surprises me is they underestimated this. They never went on the air and said, oh, this is going to be the worst storm ever. They were just saying, oh, it's going to be 3 to 5 feet or whatever. Turned out we got like 6 feet.
Yeah.
So it was actually underestimated.
Do you
So
think it's just too hard to predict a storm surge, or?
I knew a lot of meteorologists for my career, and I remember back in the day they started going 5-day forecasts.
Yeah.
And then whatever channel you were, that was the forecast. 7-day forecast for Channel 7.
Right.
9-day forecast. Our meteorologist in Detroit, we were at Channel 7. He said, I can't do 7 days out. I can give you a pretty accurate forecast 2 days out. 7 days out, I can throw a dart at a board and give you a forecast.
Yeah.
Right.
I put a post up on our Facebook page about who our followers thought was the most reliable, trustworthy, dependable. And, Matt from Wink, Matt DeVette, is that how you say his last name? You're laughing at that.
I'm laughing. I watched Matt. I don't watch local news much.
I
I
see.
really don't. But I was watching him during this hurricane. And he does something that would have driven my directors that I worked with crazy. Because he's sitting there and he says, okay, give me a double box. I want you in this box.
I know.
want this in this box.
Yeah.
I want this in, would you take that camera? I want you to pan that camera left. And I could tell in the control room, they're all looking at him going, would you shut up?
But it was him, and it was some Mike the weather guy's
I
page,
don't-
or what is Mike the weather guy? Do you got what is that? Is that a real weather person? It's like
Yeah,
he got
it's-
just as much as Matt, huh? Tampa Bay.
Yeah, and I got some friends who swear by Mike the weather guy and his page. You
Yeah.
open his page up, you can't see anything because there are about 9 million squares in it.
Yeah. I'm
That's
like, what is?
someone who's really
what is
going
going-
in deep.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm
but
watching.
that's who you want. I mean, you want someone
I don't
who's
know
weather
about
really
guy.
in
that.
it.
I
That's what
want
you
somebody
want.
to be accurate, so we know how
Well,
high
that's
the
how
storm surge
a
is going to
weather
be.
person,
No, so-
nerd, is going to be accurate.
So
if that's their
I'm watching Matt.
Right.
I'm in the hotel room here. I'm waiting for the next video to go out. So I'm watching Matt, right? And he's saying, and there were some people on social media who were trying to scare people that the storm was going to wobble. And I'm like, well, who is he talking about?
gonna
Like,
wobble.
how does the average person know who he's talking about? Name
Exactly.
names when you're doing that. Did he mean the mic guy? Is that what he
No,
meant?
I don't think so. I think he just, because when I was doing, because I did a lot of Facebook Lives like you did
Yeah.
during the storm, and I have people come on telling me, I
That-
don't know where they are. They're in Wisconsin or places like
Right.
this. And they're telling me, this says, there's a hurricane. I'm duh. Or they're saying, here's the big one that I got. It's toward the end of the storm. They're saying, well, there are 2 more hurricanes right behind this. They're going to hit you. And I'm saying, no, there aren't.
No.
There's like one system down someplace near where this started that's not even a system yet. And then there's another one that's already halfway up the East Coast. That's what they're talking about.
Yeah.
These are not hurricanes that are affected. But people get on Facebook and they say these
They
things.
get one kernel and then they run with it.
And then everybody else runs with that.
Yeah,
And pretty
yeah.
soon everybody's going, oh, there's another hurricane coming. No,
Right.
there isn't.
Yeah.
Right.
Or I have people saying, this island is totally gone. It's been buried. I said, it isn't.
Yeah.
Right.
Part of it is.
Yeah,
Not
the sand from this Helene thing was insane.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
all
was
the
massive.
county sand across the street was just brutal. So, Tom, back to you for a second. And thank you for coming, Tom.
How's your back, by the way, Tom?
I'm
You
hanging.
got the lidocaine patch.
Tom,
Oh,
at La Ola yesterday, he had probably, I don't know, you had at least 2 or 3 inches worth of thick, that sand, when that sand gets mixed in with that salt water,
Oh, it's like concrete.
it really
Yeah.
is. And she tried to shovel some, and I had to take the shovel away from her
Oh
because
my!
Oh, yeah.
I didn't
Who
want her to
left?
get
I
hurt.
saw you. I
I
didn't
was
see him
standing
doing
there.
it.
I turned around. Everybody was gone, and so I went to lift up the wheelbarrow, and with the sand being so heavy, so the wheelbarrow tips over, and I'm like, oh God, I look like an idiot. So I'm scooping it back in. The town's guy are coming over. Do you want help? I'm like, no, I got it.
I was trying to do a video. So,
And
listen.
by the way, we talked about this because you kind of did it too. During the storm, I text him before he leaves the house. I said, did you secure our house? Because I was at work before he left
I
on
did.
Wednesday. Yeah, I secured the house. No. I came home. There was maybe some chairs moved on the lanai.
The heavy chairs.
But the canopy was still up. Everything. So in the middle of the day, the canopy slides into our lanai screen. It rips the screen, and I start taking this 200-piece metal canopy apart for like 5 hours in the
Yeah,
weather
so-
because he doesn't secure it.
Well,
and you said
Wait.
You kinda
So she
leave
calls
too.
me, and I'm on the 4th floor of the Margaritaville Hotel, just watching Matt tell everybody it's not going to be a wind event, and she's at home saying the wind just blew the canopy through the pool cage.
And so at that point, you told Kim she was wrong.
Yes.
And then from there, it went downhill.
Because Matt was telling me it's not going to be a wind event. He just said it was going to be a
no, I
water
sent
event.
him a video with my feelings elucidated.
I'll read them later to
Yeah.
you in
No,
the video.
there's children
So
here.
Tom, what I wanted to ask you was, there's some, we don't really know what's going to happen, like with the future of your area here in Times Square. So I mean, FEMA, the last few days, I think is kind of in FEMA's favor about getting things off the island. There were porta potties that were projectiles
Oh, yeah.
the other day. There was one underneath my baby truck when I went to move it from Norm's parking lot, and there was other things that were just flying in the air. And you're obviously your situation over there, it stood up. You got everything out that needed to get out, but the future is what?
Well, none of us know what the future is yet, but
It's undetermined.
Look into your crystal ball.
I'm really happy with the way my setup stood up to the storm. I'm
And you
happy.
proved that you can do what you said you could do.
Yep. I'm happy with our evacuation plan. We started moving everything out on Tuesday morning. We've already got everything back on location now. So we proved that we can do it. We can take it out, set it back up. We could have done the last step and hauled them off. It would have been, it's a little trickier to put them back on, to back those trailers in right next to each other. Towing them away is the easier part. So putting them back on. So I wanted to make sure that we really needed to pull them off. There was no mandatory evacuation called. We made the decision with the 3 to 5 feet that, being on the concrete pad already, and then the trailers are up another 4 feet.
Right. I don't.
We
I
felt
don't,
we were high enough.
Yeah, I don't think there's any argument that your containers withstood the storm. I think my question is, November 18th is a rock solid deadline date from FEMA. Are you going to stay or are you going to go?
Well, I had a long talk with town staff about that. It's not just me that has to answer that question. It's a whole bunch of members of our community, the
Right.
sheriff's department, the hardware store, the Baptist church.
Right.
The list goes on and on.
Most
The
people
town- the
want to
town-
know what you're going to do, though, because they love your place. They don't dislike
Yeah.
the other places, but
right now I'm leaning towards having my day in front of a special magistrate.
okay.
So
See, and the thing,
Can we get Rick just to sit on your roof?
and the thing that's,
Ed, the other thing I know is we don't have hurricanes in the winter.
yeah, I know.
So
I mean,
it
the stupidest
it
thing to move now.
really
Yeah.
makes me wonder what the motivation is to
I know what
to
the
do that
motivation
to
is.
us. Yeah.
My opinion is, which means nothing, by the way, is that FEMA
I can
just
vouch for
doesn't
that.
care.
They don't care now.
They just want they just want what they want, and they say 2 years is long enough, and it's been 2 years. And 2 days ago, you got a little taste of what Mother Nature can do, and yeah, it would make common sense to let you guys roll through the beginning of next hurricane season.
I think Tom proved that he can do what he says he can do.
Right.
I think somebody at FEMA needs to say, okay, if you have an evacuation plan that will work and you've proved it will work, then go ahead, stay.
But you know what I'm saying, Steve.
They don't care.
They don't care.
And
they're not going to look at one not little, but they're not going to look at an isolated situation. They're making a rule for everybody, and that's it.
Right.
And the community needs to decide if they want the square empty for the next 5 years.
Right.
I don't think the community wants it
yeah.
empty. I think that I mean, here's the thing that's perplexing too, is you're going to go in front of the special magistrate, which is not going to be Monica. From what I understand, it's going to be a different special magistrate.
I understand
and they're going to make
somebody independent from outside.
Yeah, and there's something called DOA, and they're going to make a decision. But at the end of the day, I still don't think FEMA cares. If the special magistrate makes a decision, FEMA can say, well, we have nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
I told you to leave by the 18th. You're there on the 19th. I don't know what the enforcement mechanism could be. Right? I mean, in the town, for the town to give themselves a violation was just all for, I don't know. That didn't make any sense. What did you think about the town giving themselves a violation?
I can't understand sometimes what's going on with this whole thing. It's just, there's common sense is left.
Yeah.
And it's all about politics. We're doing something because we don't want to piss this person off and this agency. And it's just, to me, it's just been incomprehensible that they've stopped looking at the good of the community and they're only looking at the good of checking a box.
Okay, let me play devil's advocate for 1 second. We're walking through our neighborhood yesterday, and we don't live on the beach. We make that clear, and people also make that clear to us. You don't live on the beach, so shut up. But we're walking through the neighborhood, and somebody says to me, hey, what's going on down there? Because we're paying for it out here. Why do we have to pay for what you guys are doing on the beach? That is a fair argument.
Sure.
So, I mean, there are two sides to that. I mean, they feel it is affecting the other people in Florida or the other people in the community, and they were like, well, yeah, you get hurricanes down there, so get the shit out of there. I mean, so it's not all. I mean, I want you to be there forever. So I'm just saying that I think that's part of the reason that FEMA is
But the
looking
cost
at
isn't
it.
entirely borne by them. I mean,
Sure.
our insurance rates and everything like that are much, and property tax rates, everything else are higher to compensate for that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, no, I just hope, if they are going to be this strict and really enforce it, that they would do it across the board. I've watched Connex trailers, boxes get dropped all over this island. And I'm glad mine ended up on trailers, but they've been all over the beach, up and down. Mine were the only ones that got, the 10-day notice to remove in the beginning.
Yeah, and the unfortunate thing is you're here, you're right at the end of the spotlight. You're in the spotlight, and everybody loves you being there. Which I think when the mayor said last week, nobody's going to be treated differently. Everybody's getting a letter, including the town, which I thought was goofy. But everybody else is getting the letter. That's the only fair way to do it. I mean, you can't pick and choose. Like, I don't think FEMA cares about you have a plan to rebuild, so you're okay to stay there until you rebuild. Well, they don't really care about that either.
Right.
You know what? And I don't know if this would work for me with my liquor license, whether I would be able to do this or not. But another thing I thought about is, why couldn't we move on to the island at the end of hurricane season and move off the island at the end while we're in a temporary phase?
Tom,
would FEMA allow that? I don't know.
No.
Tom, are you just a glutton for punishment? I mean, can you imagine that? How much work do you want to do?
I don't know, but you don't really you just tread water all summer long or lose money, and that's why it's especially hard on me right now. You go through a really hard summer,
yes,
and now
season's upon us, and you go in debt through the summer, and then just to get
to
wiped
make
off
it
the
on
map.
the other side. Yeah.
That's the crazy part about it is if they're going to pick a time to tell people to get off the island, why not just wait until a month before hurricane season?
Before everybody leaves anyway.
Yeah,
right after Easter.
Right.
Yeah.
So Tom, what is if the weather holds off? What is your plan today for music?
Well, the one and only Stephen Clark's going on at 3 p.m. And then
if he can make it in traffic.
I got to go back and get my stuff. You got Sideshow Bob on at noon, right?
Sideshow Bob, we decided to cancel because there were still the fast moving cells going across with the little. Well, you saw the rain.
Yeah.
Felt the rain.
So it's good that we canceled. But I don't want anyone to lose their gear either. So we're gonna have to watch the weather and I guess check back in with what the town's.
Yeah.
plan
I
is
just
here.
ignore the town right now. Just ignore the right,
Is- is
Stephen.
it-
You second that emotion?
Is that the best
Stop.
advice?
Here goes your phone is going to go
I
off.
have tried to make a career out of ignoring the town.
No, I sent the text.
Has it been a successful
No,
career?
no.
Okay.
No, I just think that these other businesses down on Old San Carlos have been cleaning out and trying to get back open because of the Island Hopper
Yeah.
Songwriters Festival and because they
the
need the money.
anniversary. It's the anniversary
Yeah.
of it,
Yeah.
and two
Yeah.
people want to be here. And as I say, we want to show people exactly what it is we've been doing for 2 years, which is being resilient. And
Right.
nobody is more resilient on this damn island than this guy sitting
I
next
know.
to you.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
You are the poster child for the resilience of this community.
I
And
was-
I think we all watch you and say, okay, what are you going to do now? They just keep coming. You're like
Yeah.
that little doll they punch, and it just keeps coming down and coming back and coming down.
So Tom, the person Chris Primo owns the property that you're on. Is he planning to build a building for you?
Well, he's definitely looking into it. I don't think he definitely didn't want to be the first one
Gotcha.
to build back, not knowing what was going to happen all around him. You
Yeah.
know, and how for the town to finally decide how high they're going to allow Times Square to be.
Yeah.
Do we even know that yet?
Right.
Right. All right. So where else are you playing? Did you play in Cape Coral?
I did play Cape Coral for the Songwriter Festival on Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah. How'd that go?
It was
Good
great.
crowd?
We had awesome crowds, and I actually have never played over there in that whole marina assembly there.
I don't go to Cape
It
Coral.
was
It's
the
too far
Naughty
away.
Mermaid, and then around the corner at the High Tide Social.
Yeah.
It's a really nice location. I would like to play there more often, except for I hate driving that far.
Oh, it's
So
terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
this
Too
is
Going
far.
like
over
my
the
limit of
bridge.
my driving is right here.
The
And it
base
takes-
of that
Right
bridge.
there. I go right to that tower over there, and I'm done.
It takes you 2 hours anyway. Why go any
I know.
further?
Jeez.
So, anything else you guys want to add about the anniversary or anything else, Tom?
Well, I'd love for everyone to come on down, see the live music, and show my staff some love. They've been working really hard to get this
Yes.
put back together in time for today. It is a special day for us, 2 years. So, yeah, we just love everyone to come over and give us a hug, say
Remember
hello.
the 1 year anniversary? Yeah, let it ride. The 1 year anniversary, I think we did a show right at your place.
Yeah, we
there.
did.
You
We did
did.
music
You
that day,
did.
too.
It was,
Yeah.
it was a great day. Thank you, Stephen, for
Yeah. Anything going on with you? You go on a lot of vacations.
I
like
did,
to-
my wife is this was her bucket list time after I retired. So I take the off season to travel. So we just got back from the Amazon last Saturday.
How was that?
It was awesome. We did the Amazon on a river boat and went up and down the Amazon for like a week.
Where is the
Did
Amazon?
you see any like
So
really
we did in Peru.
in Peru?
Pink dolphins.
saw
pink
some pink
Pink
dolphins?
dolphins. They don't
Nice.
look anything like the dolphins we have around
No
here.
big snakes or
I didn't see any boas. They do have constrictors of different types down there, but we saw the pink. There really are pink dolphins. They have these huge
Are they-
foreheads and not much of a fin. Then we saw gray dolphins, which look like ours.
are they eating a lot of shrimp? Is that how they get pink?
I guess so. That's what I heard. Is
Huh.
they actually they eat shrimp. That's how they get pink.
What
So
kind of question is that?
flamingos.
Right.
Don't
right.
It's
question.
actually, I think, a very, very astute question.
You really?
I think this is
Yeah.
a woman who must travel a lot.
No, she's
I'm
going to
getting ready
Africa.
to.
She's going to Africa.
I know. I
in,
was talking to one of my neighbors who's, I guess, taking you to Africa.
Oh yeah, Janelle. Yes.
and I'll spoon
She
over.
doesn't know what she's in for. I keep trying to prepare her, but she's so laid back,
Oh, she is.
and I'm
So
not.
Yeah.
And so we'll see how this. I
Well, you
have
got
been.
to take him with you. I
No,
think
I'm
that-
not.
Oh,
you
I
never
can't
leave in the
deal with
United
that.
States of America.
I
Never.
cannot deal with
I
that.
love this country so much.
Well, I
I-
love the
I
country
am
too.
not-
I'm not leaving it
No.
like to be an expat.
They kill people in Africa. I'm never going to Africa.
Killing people everywhere.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Yeah, 'cause
So, where else? The Amazon. You went on 2 vacations
we went
this
to,
year.
we went to Machu Picchu after that, which is
Oh.
it was
what
awesome.
the hell is that?
It's an Incan. It's like the old center of the Incan culture, and it disappeared when the Spanish came marching into Peru back in the 1700s.
Jesus
How-
Christmas.
how long
I have
did it
no
take
idea
you
what
to
you're
get up
talking
there?
about.
Well, you have to fly into a place called Cusco, which is at 11,000 feet elevation, and I
Yeah.
was there 3 days. And the last day, I got so sick from the
Yeah.
altitude. But Machu Picchu, oddly enough, is lower than that. So I was actually fine in Machu
It's a
Picchu.
lot of steps.
There are a lot of steps to walk on.
Yep.
Yeah. a lot
Where are
of
you
steps.
going next year?
We are. Let's see. I think we're doing a cruise up on the northern, like Oslo and
Nice. I love
up
Oslo.
in
Love it.
Greenland. And
Green-
how would you
oh,
know
I
you've
love
never been there? You don't
Greenland.
leave the United
I
States.
see it on National Geographics. So
You're gonna go to Greenland?
Yeah, we're doing Iceland and Greenland, and
Greenland's
Very nice.
cold.
Tom, where are you going
Greenland
on?
is icy and Iceland
Icy.
is green.
By the
That's
way,
how I
everybody,
remember.
enough about you, Stephen. Tom is freshly married. He's a brand new
Yes, he is.
husband. Yeah. How long have you been married now?
Since May 31st.
Is she still with you?
May 30th.
She's still with me.
All right,
in
nice.
fact, yes, she was the one that got the lidocaine patch for me.
Ah.
Any final thoughts before we let you guys mosey on down to La Ola?
I say come to La Ola
Yes.
today.
Yes.
Despite what the island says, I know the traffic's a little weird over on Estero.
Yeah.
'Cause
Just
they're
drive
still-
slow. I mean, the
Yeah.
traffic, there's always traffic on the street.
Right,
So
you're
you
right.
fit right in.
There is.
Yeah.
There is.
They're cleaning up the sand.
Yeah.
You can come over the bridge and go down Estero today. You couldn't go
Yeah.
down Estero yesterday because of the sand. The county really killed it the last 24
Yeah, and
hours.
the parking, I think, is good. They've taken the parking lots, cleaned them out. You were walking around on all these things.
Lindholm Park is not open for parking, but the towns, the old San Carlos was open. It looked like it was open under the bridge, so
Yep.
there's plenty of parking. You can park behind Wahoo Willie's. So,
Yep.
all right, Vikings or Packers?
Packers.
Packers.
I don't have a dog in that fight. I'm going for the
I'm with you.
Lions.
Lions, yeah. All right, very
Yeah.
nice. Stephen Clark and Tom Houghton from La Ola, everybody. A big hand. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you. We'll see you on the 3rd-year anniversary, if not before that. So come on down to La Ola, everybody. La Ola is in Times Square until further notice. Hopefully, for a very long time. Make sure I got the right one here. And before we roll out of here and on down to the Pink Shell Resort, I want to tell you about Alex King. You see Alex signs all over the place. You know Alex is the man to call if you need to buy property or sell property on Fort Myers Beach. Alex knows about just about every house on every street. If you want somebody with the knowledge of the properties and the history of Fort Myers Beach, Alex King is the person to call. You can go on Alex King's Facebook page. He does some goofy stuff on Facebook, but sometimes you need to do goofy stuff on Facebook, like my wife does. If you saw some of her videos that she doesn't actually post that should be on Facebook, woo! But give Alex King a call, 239-849-3663, 239-849-3663. Thank you to Alex and Michael Stewart for sponsoring today's show. Just a few reminders. The Island Pancake House is open. They got their power back last night, so they opened this morning at 7:30. I'm going to try and remember these things from my memory. And at approaching 60 years old is not going to be easy. Mr. Waves is open at the base of the bridge. I'm not sure yet when Snug Harbor and Wahoo Willie's is opening, but they're going to let us know. The Island Hopper Songwriter Fest is going on. I think it's 2:30 today at the Mound House. Also, Snug Harbor tonight from 2 to 9. Wahoo Willie's Sunday from 1 to 4. Our lunch at the Pink Shell for the survivors and the residents of Fort Myers Beach, because it's this 2-year anniversary was kind of a dud, which is fine. It's fine that it was a dud. And they had to cancel the event at Santini Plaza. I know Anita at the Islander is getting ready to open soon. The Book Nook is getting ready to open soon. They did not take on water at any in any of the units in Santini Plaza, which is good news. And also, tomorrow's Packer party at Nervous Nellie's upstairs at Nervous Nellie's. Nervous Nellie's is also open. And I saw the Yo Taco truck was being backed into Times Square, so they planned on being back open today at 11 o'clock. And in case you're bored on Friday from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock in the morning, I'll be guest hosting on 92.5 Fox News. Now, we don't talk about national stuff here because it drives people insane, but there might be a little bit of that. And of course, we're going to give Fort Myers Beach some love. Are you going to finish the show? It's a very important day for you to finish the show here. She'll be ready to. Don't. Where are you going? You can rest have a seat for 30 seconds. Dear, is there anything that you want to say to our 9 listeners? By the way, thank you all for sharing our page. We're at nearly 106,000 followers, which was 97,000 followers before the storm. Here, use the right microphone. You're like an amateur here.
Oh, please. How many times have you started this show where you haven't even had it hooked up correctly? I was just planning my next trip. So.
Yeah, you and Stephen Clark are going somewhere
No,
together.
He's making some
I know.
recommendations. I have always wanted to go to Patagonia, so I don't know.
Where's that? Is that in North Carolina?
It's really far
South
away.
Carolina. Oh, so I look at this. I can't believe this is like. I don't know if I thought it should be a party or something, but I'm glad it's not a party. I mean, everybody's cleaning up from the last hurricane, and so all right. Well, I guess that's all. Anything you want to say?
No, I've berated you enough
All right.
about not taking care of the house.
Thank you all for coming. Give yourselves a round of applause, please.
Let's give you one.
Yes, thank you for coming. We'll see you at 12:30 at the Pink Shell. Bye bye.